Hello, you divine, infinite human beings. You are all that is, ever has been, and ever shall be. You are divine, infinite love. You are divine, infinite truth. You are divine, infinite source. Welcome, 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 infinite human family. It's windy out here, so you can hear the wind and the waves and see the sand and the surf. How healing is that? And this is actually my last day saying goodbye, not to Sicily, I live here, but to Peter Pan Beach. This is Peter Pan Beach, Lido, which brought me to Sicily, which brought me to where I am now, Castellammare del Golfo. Very beautiful place. And it's a beautiful story about how I found this place and how my twin soul, who is only with me in spirit now, guided me here, because Peter Pan has always been something sacred to me. Even when I was little, before I met Peter, I used to be in love with Peter Pan. I used to make up songs about him, and when I took an acting class, my first acting class ever, I wanted to be Wendy Moore Angela Darling. And the acting teacher said that I couldn't because they were only doing real historical characters like Martha and George Washington and Pocahontas. So I said, but Peter Pan is real, and I won the argument. So it wasn't until many years later, when I was grown up and 25, there's Kiki. She's barking at another dog on the beach. So that I finally met my Peter Pan on a beach, much like this in Florida. Both beachy people. In fact, that's on the cover of my book, The Infinite Human, which is the story of our spiritual journey and also full disclosure of everything, all the events that are going on the planet now. So I met him, and ironically, Peter was from, of course, an island, much like this, but Cuba, the island of Cuba, where he had hid out on Valadero, one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, for 2 years before boarding a plane to Miami, where his mother had sewn money into his clothing, and he went and bought a pack of menthol cigarettes and closed the door and waited for the plane to leave. When the plane had left, he then went to the customs agent, unable to speak a word of English, and the customs agent said he would have to return to Cuba, which he knew would be his certain death for him. So he began to cry and handed a piece of paper to the customs agent, who was moved with compassion and called the number, and it was a priest, a Catholic priest, who came and got him and took him to the first boys camp in Orlando, Florida. And the whole operation of extracting over 14,000 Cuban miners, boys, was called Operación Pedro Pan, or the Peter Pan operation, where they saved the lives of thousands of Peter Pans. So when I saw that Castellammare had a beach called Neverland and a Bao beach for dogs, next to it Neverland, then I looked a little bit further and I saw this, Peter Pan Beach. And next to it, over there, is the beach called Elisabetta. So Elisabetta Beach was right next to Peter Pan, and I knew this was the place for me, which I'm so glad I came. It's been beautiful. It's been challenging too, very challenging, but worth the challenges. So that's my story from Peter Pan Beach here in Sicily, and wonderful things are afoot nowadays. So my message for you is, what is your story? What is your story? Because we all have them. We all have very amazing stories. Those of us that are now rising, ascending the frequencies, especially now in this incredible month, this incredible time period in which we live, is a time to really embrace how powerful you are, how infinite you are, of course always with humility, and to begin to start moving out of the old broken earth. And I always tell people the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. So if we stay in the old broken system, many of you are awakening to just how broken this world is, how ill, how diseased our society is. But it's time we have to begin to move forward, the new true healers, the co-healers, and to create something different. So it takes creativity, first of all. So fan your creative sparkle, which is a spark of divine creation from the Creator, and a little bit of the lion's courage, which we picked up from the Lion's Gate. Okay, and please, if this message has helped you, please share it and subscribe, all that stuff. And please visit my website, infinitehuman.com, where my book, Infinite Human, will be coming out very, very soon. I sent it off to the editor, and it puts all the dots, connects all the dots, all the puzzle pieces together. Okay, ciao for now.